दंडी सर्ववेदांत पंडित श्रीमद्विवेकयोगी मां प्रचोदयतु सर्वदा. One question that will come in front of us is, why should we go through all these to acquire knowledge? Because we are so much used to acquiring knowledge through our external sense organs. The question will be, we know how to acquire knowledge, we can read, we can listen to talks, think. Why should we go through all this? But then we should understand the knowledge of the truth which India is speaking of. That is very, very different. It is a transsensual knowledge. Transsensual. Senses have nothing to do with it. Senses are dropped. Senses are discarded because we don't need them at all in our ascent. And Nisangatvam. All these senses are not at all necessary. We don't have to hear, smell, taste. Nothing is necessary. Transsensual knowledge. There is a knowledge beyond the senses, and whenever it does not contradict reason and past human experience, that knowledge itself is its proof. All our Vedas and Upanishads have come not through study of books or experimentation in the laboratory, but through this truly transsensual knowledge. This transsensual knowledge, to go beyond the senses, we need pratyahara and dharana. That is how we had to learn about them. Then we have also seen, we have earlier, concentration. Concentration is the key to open the treasure chest of knowledge. We have but one method of acquiring knowledge. From the lowest man to the highest yogi, all have to use the same method, and that method is concentration. We have seen about that concentration earlier also. Now, if we have to acquire this transsensual knowledge, we have to have concentration, purity of mind, constant meditation on that subject, etc. So, we can easily understand this through a very, very beautiful anecdote. Not anecdote actually, yes, it is something which really happened to a very, very ordinary man in old Russia. So this man, he was a woodcutter. As he was going in front of a church, he heard the father saying, there is only one way to realize the truth, God, that is constant remembrance. He couldn't follow. Constant remembrance, 24 hours to think of God. Is it possible at all? So he waited for the crowd to disperse. He went to the church and he asked the father, Father, you were talking about constant remembrance, no? How is it possible? Please teach me how to think of God constantly. So the poor father said, Son, I don't know. It is written in the book. I preach it to the congregation. I don't know what exactly it means. You go and ask somebody better than me. So the man got disappointed and he started moving from church to church to church to church, asking all the fathers what is meant by constant remembrance of God. None of them could give him an answer. Then his anxiety became more and more to know this truth. Most of his time he started inquiring about this moving from place to place. So his wood cutting nearly stopped. He will cut just one or two something to get his daily bread. He started moving from place to place. Like that, finally he landed up, according to the story, in Leningrad, old Russia. And there, again in front of a church, in the evening he was watching, he heard the father say the same thing again. Nirantara dhyana, incessant, constant remembrance of God. So he went to him and asked him, Father, you were speaking about constant remembrance. Please teach me that. I would like to think of God constantly, but how is to be done? Then the father, he could understand the sincerity of the seeker. See, that is very important. The absolute sincerity of the seeker. And he said, Oh son, I will give you a mantra. And you chant that mantra 108 times in the morning and evening for a week, and then come to me. So he controlled his wanderings of the mind and started his pratyahara and dharana started, and he chanted. After a week he came. Were you able to chant it nicely? Yes. I feel so happy, at peace, Father. Teach me more. Now you make it 1,008 times morning and evening. Went back, sat down, 1,008 times, came back, still happier. Father was also happy. What a sincere seeker he is. He increased the quantum like that, and finally he said, 1 lakh mantra per day. Oof, he had given up wood cutting, he had given up taking food, everything was given up. Just one thought, mantra, 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 chanting the mantra, chanting the mantra. He could not sit earlier, but now he could sit for hours together. Then finally he came to the father in the church. So as soon as he saw the man, the father said, My son, your face itself shows that you are blessed. Yes, Father, I got the answer myself. By chanting this mantra, every cell in my body has taken up the mantra chanting, and every cell starts vibrating when I chant the mantra. And I am so happy that you taught me this. And the story doesn't stop there. This man, after finishing these experiments upon himself, he started going about conveying it to others. Then he says, he looks up at the sky, the sun, the moon, the stars. He looks at the ocean. He looks at the tree. He says, all of them started revealing to me the truth within themselves. He could just see, just feel that the whole universe is filled with one truth. And he was so happy. All the knowledge hidden in any object in this universe, Isha Vasyamidam Sarvam, that knowledge came to him, and he became almost a realized soul. He started wandering from city to city to city to town to village, conveying the beauty and the glory of the name of the God.